Hey, good people, how are you? Well, here I am again today, still on my journey of wealth and wellness. I am Sandra Cheney. I'm a speaker, I am a compelling change agent. Probably wondering what that means. I'm a life strategist. I love people. I have begun this journey of self-love. So I'm loving me now and loving the skin that I'm in. Wasn't always like that though. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. I still have my moments, but it's better and better every day. So I want to thank you for, if you are on this journey with me, I want to thank you for being on this wealth and wellness journey with me. So what do I want to talk about today? Well, you know what? I really want to share just a little bit about my life. So I grew up, of course, I had a mom and dad, what we all did. And I am a fatherless daughter, but I'm a fatherless daughter who is healing her fatherless daughter's issues and wounds. And I'm definitely on a journey too of love, acceptance, and forgiveness, or love, forgiveness, and acceptance, because I've learned to accept that my father did the best that he could, and he did what he was taught. See, we forget that sometimes our parents, it's not that they don't want to do better, it's that they teach us what they were taught. And my father was an alcoholic. He worked hard. We always had a roof over our head. You know, the standard. We had food on the table, blah, 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 blah. But he wasn't alcoholic. He had his issues with that. He was also abusive, verbally and sometimes physically. But I'm not here to bash my dad, because I do love my father. My father taught me many lessons in money, many lessons in life. He did teach me many lessons that I'm learning to apply now. But it's those things that I learned that shaped my life, and that I had to change, because I could no longer blame him or my mom for how my life was, because they did the best that they could. You've ever heard of Joyce Myers? Well, Joyce told this story one day, and it was like an aha moment for me. What she said was that there was this woman, and every Thanksgiving or Christmas, I believe, she would, of course, make this ham. Put it in, remember the roaster pots that you put turkey and chicken in? Well, she would always cut off both ends of the ham, because her mother did it. And so she thought there was a reason why she thought there was a reason why. Or maybe she didn't even think there was a reason why. I don't remember the entire story. But here we go. Here's what I do remember about it, is that when somebody asked her, why did she do that? She was like, I don't know. I just do it because my mother did it. So she finally asked her mother, why did she do it? And her mother said, well, because my mother did it and her mother did it. No one ever thought to get a bigger roaster. There was no need to cut off both ends of the ham. So why do I share that story? Because our parents do what they were taught. And what they were taught was what they taught us. And if you're a parent, a mom, a dad, you're teaching your kids what you were taught. And if you don't like what you're teaching them, then it's up to you to change. But the change has to start with you first. The change had to start with me, because growing up, I always felt unworthy. When I became an adult, I felt unworthy of things. I felt like I couldn't have this, like a pair of shoes. My father used to, when I wanted a pair of shoes, because I was the oldest, I had to explain to him why I needed another pair of shoes. So of course, when I got older, nobody was going to tell me I couldn't have no shoes, y'all. So I went and bought as many shoes as I want, when I want, how I wanted, and I paid whatever I wanted. But it caused some financial stress. But whenever I wanted to go shopping to buy something new, I just did it. Remember back in the day, and I'm about to date myself, we could float checks. I used to go and see a dress I wanted and go, okay, payday is 3 days away. I can get this dress, because the check ain't going to get there until payday or the day after. The crazy stuff that we did, but these are things that we taught. But this also made me think that I felt worthy. It didn't. It caused financial stress. It caused physical stress. My wealth and well-being was being compromised. What are you doing that's compromising your wealth and well-being? And I'm not just talking finances, but your body is your wealth. Your mind is your wealth, which ties into your wellness. What are you doing? That's something to think about. Are you tired all the time? Do you get colds all the time? Is it hard to get out of bed sometimes? Are you always on the defensive? Because that's not freedom, you know. Freedom is being able to laugh at yourself. When somebody says something, you just shrug it off and keep it moving. Being able to not worry about robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's freedom, y'all. And that's the journey that I'm on right now. But here's what I had to do first. I had to acknowledge that I was in some kind of pain. I had to acknowledge that those things that happened in my life happened. Because I used to go around telling people that I was adopted. Because I just could not believe that God would put me in that kind of family. So I thought I was adopted. No, I wasn't adopted. That was my real mom and dad. The one thing I will say, though, like I said, they taught me some lessons. You know, my mother raised 3 kids through all of that and went and got her bachelor's and her master's to become a teacher. Yeah, she did all of that. I was so proud of her. But at the same time, I didn't understand why she stayed in that kind of relationship. So I saw her in a different light. I didn't understand why my father, couldn't say I love you. My mom never said. I didn't understand all those things. But as I became an adult, I understood later. It's because it's what they were taught. To them, love meant your dad putting a roof over your head. You getting out in that field because they grew up in the South and working. They put food on the table. That was love for them. They provided clothes for you. That was love. We're in a different era now, in a different time and century. While, yes, putting food on the table, all those things are great. But you also got to learn to love yourself because those necessities will be taken care of. But do you want your children to feel like that? What's the legacy that you're leaving? And I didn't like the legacy that I was leaving. I didn't like the legacy of always being unhappy, always being on the defensive. I did work out, but my working out wasn't because I was trying to feel better. My working out was because I had to make sure I looked good in my clothes. So even my perception of what working out and wellness was different. Because just like I said, I can go buy how many shoes I want, and I did. I worked out with a trainer because I wanted to, because I could, because I felt like I was wealthy. That's not wealth, that's debt. And the debt caused stress. Stop stressing yourself out. So number 1, acknowledge that. Because until you acknowledge those things of your past, they're going to keep on bringing you what you don't want. And if you keep on complaining about not having this, not having that, the more you complain, the more you're going to keep getting it. So stop it. Acknowledge first those things that have kept you in bondage, those things that have kept you in jail mentally, physically, that don't allow you to be free. You think you're free, but you're not. Those things. Yes, you're going to experience some pain. I'm not going to tell you no lie, because you are. You may cry. You may get angry. You may fuss. You might be saying, why would I want to do that? Because until you change that, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. If you want something new, you got to change it. You got to go through the journey of accepting, of love, acceptance, and forgiveness. You got to go through it. So you got to first love yourself by saying, yep, those things happened. It's not, your parents may have caused it, but what? You 20, 30, 40, 50 and still blame your parents? It's time to stop. There comes a point where you have to look at your life and go, I created this. So acknowledge it. Number 1. Number 2, write down stuff. I'm purging my house. I'm not sure if I want to show you the mess. But can you see that? Can y'all see that? I don't know if you saw all that, but I'm purging. I'm purging. This is my office. That's where I'm starting. But I'm purging my house. Purging my house is a physical thing, but it's also an emotional thing. Because there are things I'm still holding on to that I got to let go. What are you holding on to that you got to let go of? It's been a process, y'all. Woo! I'm going to tell you. Clothes that I ain't want to get rid of, that I ain't worn in 5 years. Purge. Get rid of it. You're going to feel so much better. I'm trying to tell you. You will. That everything you do is an inside job. Remember my book I told you about? The Woman Within. Remember that book? It's an inside job. It really is. The Woman Within. It's an inside job. By the way, there's a link down there if you want to go purchase it off of my website. Please do, because it is an inside job. I had to purge some things. I'm still purging. I've been on this journey for a minute. I'm still purging. Yeah, the other day I was purging and I didn't, after I was done, I didn't feel good. But I laid my butt down. It's okay. I was like, that damn purging, but it's okay. It is okay. So acknowledge it and begin to purge. Let it go. Take the time you need for yourself. It is time for you to be a rebel in your own life. It is time for you to release those things so that you can move and have the things that you want, so that you can begin to flow. Let go of the liabilities and start acquiring some assets, some good assets in your life. Because I told you I'm acquiring gold now. I didn't think about gold years ago. The gold I thought about was a jewelry I can put around my neck, not assets like gold that I can exchange for money and have to leave for a legacy, or just have because just for me, just for as a savings account. If you're interested in that, that link is down below as well. It's a free gold account. You can start there for yourself if you're looking for some assets. Yeah, I know I'm trying to get this right? See, this is why I don't do videos. See, there I go there, doing what I don't like, right? But it's okay, because we're going to keep pushing. Anyhow, I'm acquiring assets now. But in order for me to re-understand what that was, I had to begin to acknowledge and release those liabilities, had to purge them, those things that were keeping me in bondage. And now the exercising, yep, but I'm doing it differently now. That's why I'm on this wealth and wellness journey. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I like that little lady in the back. You know, that little purple lady. That's why I keep moving my thing. Anyway, y'all work with a sister. You just work with me, because now, like I said, I love me. My perfectionism is no longer perfectionism. I just do and go. Anyhow, so acknowledge, begin to purge, be gentle with yourself, because it's going to be some days it might be painful. But it's going to be all right, because you got to process that, go through it, and you're going to come out on the other side. You're going to be doing the jig, because I do a jig now, y'all. Really, I do. Okay, well, I guess that's it for right now. So until the next time, look at here. Everything I do comes from a place of deep love. Everything you do should come from that deep place of love, right? And remember, it is an inside job, because everything you need is on the inside. The question is, what is it that you need, and what is it that you're trying to get to? Because in order to get to that thing that you need on the inside, you're going to have to purge a few things, like you saw in my, wait, you should see my other part of my house. Well, no, not really. But anyway, everything I do comes from a deep place of love. All right, good people. Peace out until the next time.